Good morning, scholars and staff. Welcome to MB News. I am your host, Ms. Moreno. Bienvenidos a todos de la comunidad de Montevela. Yo soy la señora Moreno. Quiero decirle a todos los estudiantes de la comunidad de Montevela que estoy muy orgullosa de cada uno de ustedes. Cada estudiante es especial. Ustedes son los que hacen la diferencia en el mundo. Ustedes son la luz del mundo, ¿verdad? Y gracias por compartir parte de ustedes con nosotros. Estoy muy orgullosa porque esos tiempos han sido muy difíciles y ustedes todavía están aquí. No importa si estamos en casa preparándonos para venir en la escuela. Ustedes siempre me motivan y gracias por eso. I just want to start off by thanking all the beautiful people in our community, especially our children, because they're the ones that keep us moving. They share their light with us, right? And they're the ones that move us forward. And thank you for being part of our lives. You are what makes a difference to all of us. Now moving on to Shayla.
Been a little over a year since we were given the news that we would now return to school. Kids across the world went from going to school in person to remote instruction. Luckily, the Allison Union School District was prepared because every student already had a school device and knew how to use it. The district immediately worked on getting hotspots to those that needed one. Now, a year later, the schools are reopening. Some will come in person and some will continue from home. Joining me today are some scholars from Montevilla. Can you please introduce yourself? Tell me what grade you are and the name of your teacher.
I'm Ariana. I'm in 4th grade, and my teacher is Miss Von Ruden.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm in 4th grade, and my teacher is Miss Von Ruden.
Hi, my name is Magali, and I'm 6th grade, and my teacher is Miss Moreno.
Hi, my name is Dalila. I'm in 1st grade, and my teacher is Miss Sandoval.
Hi, my name is Salia, and my teacher is Mr. Butler, and I'm in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Rafael, and I'm in 4th grade, and my teacher is Mr. Butler.
Hi, my teacher is Miss Moreno. I'm in 6th grade.
Hi, my name is Eric. My teacher is Miss Moreno, and I'm in 6th grade.
How did you feel when you first heard the news that you would not be coming to school in person?
I was very sad, and then I got mad because to me, I felt like virtual learning was going to be so confusing.
I felt bad because when we used to go to school, we could see our teachers, and now that we're doing online, we cannot see our teachers.
When I heard the news that we weren't gonna go back to school, I felt really bad because we were gonna stay at home and there was nothing to do. We couldn't go out and we couldn't see our teachers, friend, we couldn't play.
So what I felt about that terrible news was that, I said, why are we not going back to school? Because mostly it's struggling at virtual, because in person it's more understanding, and in virtual, mostly your teacher can explain you most, and the teacher's all the time in the computer doing more stuff, and you can't play with your friends or whoever you play with.
Well, at first, when school closed, I'm like, kind of yay, because I thought I wouldn't have to do as much work and I didn't have to stay there doing almost nothing, because before I get bored because I do my work really fast. But then a couple weeks later, I started to realize that it was actually a bad thing instead of a good thing.
When I first got the news of how we weren't gonna go back to school, I was honestly mad and sad at the same time, because I've set up a big presentation for that day tomorrow, just so I could explain it and try to get a good grade. And at the same time, I lost most of my friends that were in school, and now I stay at home because most of them moved somewhere that has less people with the virus, or they just don't want to hang out anymore because there was still a virus anymore. So that kind of hit me.
When I heard the news that we're not coming back to school, it really affected everybody, because when we were in school, we paid attention more. But now when people were in computers, they lagged, they couldn't talk, and a lot of things. It was going bad. So when it affected me is that I couldn't meet my teacher in real life.
First, that day I was rushing to go to the car with my mom, and then one of my friends showed me this paper saying that they will close the schools for weeks or like so for this pandemic to get over. And then I go show it to my mom, and my mom said, I think it will just be like 5 weeks or a little bit. But then when they said like we were gonna stay lockdowns and everything like that, I felt like sad because in that day I was rushing to go home and just chillax in my house, and that's why now that they're saying that we're going back to school, I'm feeling happy.
What did you like about remote instruction and what was difficult?
To me, remote instruction, I liked it for a little bit, but then I didn't like it because then my laptop was lagging. Sometimes people couldn't hear me when I turned on my mic. It was hard to understand everything, like all the links, how to do other stuff that our teachers required us to do during virtual learning.
So what was difficult to me was in my math, because sometimes I struggle with math and sometimes my teacher is like busy with other stuff. And also what I don't like about it is that I agree with Ariana that mostly when you turn on your mic and your house is kind of noisy, they can't hear you. And like in school, you're not with your siblings, you're not with your mom, and you could learn more at school than in your computer.
I would start with something that I like about remote learning is that you will be more productive, like try to be more productive to this pandemic, and two, you have more time to get ready for school and put your school supplies somewhere where you will study. And the only thing that I don't like about online school is that sometimes like you try to talk and your family and your siblings are screaming or talking like Asalia said and Ariana, and I usually prefer more school, and that's why I don't like too much remote than on school.
But the thing that I didn't like, remote control, it was that it was difficult and it was hard for the teachers. It was more hard to explain.
Mostly, I realize that all this pandemic is affecting us. Like, it could affect us on our eyes. I think so. The school wants the most productive things we could have in our home, but mostly we have problems sometimes in our homes, like problems that we can't have a quiet place. We can't have a productive place to play with your siblings, because sometimes in the PBIS they say that we got to play with siblings, but I think so this pandemic is affecting us, and I think so we shouldn't be here because this affects us a lot, sometimes in our emotional or in the material.
Something that I like about remote learning is that you get actually more breaks. The thing that I don't like of remote learning is that you can't be with your teacher, and which I don't like that because then you can't learn good also because the teachers get so complicated. Because where's the link again? You go to class late mostly because you don't even know where's the link.
The pandemic was a curse and a blessing. A curse because we don't get to see our friends, our beloved family. We can't communicate in person. A blessing because when you're at school or when you have to do most of the things like chores or maybe have to go to work, most of it's closed down. So you get a little bit more time to rest.
How do you feel about the schools reopening?
I felt like I want to go, but I heard that you're not gonna get to be with the teacher because the teacher's still gonna be in the online meeting. So that's why I was so excited at that time, but then I was so sad because I was not even gonna get to see my teacher because the teacher was gonna be in the online meeting.
So how do I feel now is like one day when my mom told me that maybe we were gonna go back to school, when I was sleeping, mostly I couldn't sleep because I said, what about if tomorrow we could go? What about if past tomorrow and 1 week we could go? So in the night, I was like crying of happiness that we're going to school. And I think so it's better. I'm editing on to Dalila because mostly I think so we're going to be able to see our teachers because mostly we know the times there's class and the times when there's no class. So when the teacher goes to lunch, we could go outside and we could mostly see him or see her because we could talk to them at least for 5 minutes. So maybe we're gonna be able to talk to them at least like 5 minutes.
How I felt that we were gonna go back to school. I was excited, but there was only certain students. I was like, oh no! And then after a few days, there was this meeting with Ms. Alvarez. She said that if your kids wants to go back to school, your parents can sign you up. But I asked that to my teacher, and she was like, "Oh yeah, but you were gonna go to another classroom, and you won't get a fee on me." And I felt so bad. So I wanted to go, but I eventually didn't. I wanted to see my teacher.
When this pandemic, they say that it's done, but maybe it's not done. Everyone's gonna get out of stress because we have been in this pandemic for 1 year, and it's the same with us as kids. We want to see our teachers. Like, we're gonna run out of stress, also like the adults run out of stress.
Well, I feel pretty happy knowing that I will get to meet my friends and my teacher because it's been a whole year long. And well, honestly, it's kind of boring and sad without your friends and your teacher. It's not the same seeing them on the screen instead of person. It's not the same. And I'm actually really happy, and I thank God that I'm gonna be back in class.
I feel great because I could finally get to meet my teacher, and I could finally play in the playground with my friends because I got bored of inside of the house because I always gotta hang out with my brother, and I don't have any neighbors really much.
How I feel of schools reopening, I feel so happy and amazed that they're finally opening them after a year that they announced that we won't be going back to regular school.
How I feel about how we're going back to school, I'm so excited but nervous because it's like I have to get used to going back again. But I'm really, really excited. So I get to see all my friends again. I get play in the playground because it gets really boring here in the house. And just seeing my teacher and like doing school on her desk. And I don't know. I'm really excited.
Whatever feelings you have are okay. I have mixed emotions. And like I am scared. I'm gonna admit that, right? I'm scared. I know some of you guys are scared, and that's okay. We're scared together. I'm excited. Some of you are excited. We're excited together. But know that whatever you guys choose, if your parents choose to keep you at home, keep you in school, whatever they choose, we respect. And we're going to do our best, to be there for you. If you're not in my class, you are always welcome to reach out to me, whatever way. Somehow, Rafa, he's so creative, ended up making a Google. Yeah, he did a hangout. He's like, "Hi, Miss Moreno, I want to be on MB News." Feel free to reach out to me or have your parents. I'm here, even if you're not my student. I'm here for all of you. It's okay to be scared. It's okay to be excited. There's no right or wrong way to feel. Those are your feelings. And whatever happens, we're gonna do this together. And it's not just our school, it's our district, it's across the world. Something scary across the world, but we're in this together.
And also, even if we are not students of Ms. Moreno, and for example, my brother, he was Ms. Moreno's student, and mostly, even if I wasn't in her class or sometimes I needed help with something, for example, I'm not saying that I asked her this, but for example, what is 5 divided by 50? Because our teacher gave us mostly big problems. So, for example, she even helped me, and there's a friend that her teacher was not Miss Moreno and not even her sister or brother. So she was very kind to help every kid, that even if their brothers or sisters weren't in her class, she's will to help all the students.
Thank you for joining us today. Now moving on to Miguel.
Thank you, Shayla. The Alison Union School District is full of amazing people. Some of these people are making a difference every day. It's an honor to have hard workers and caring people in our district. One of our very own was recognized by Ana Caballero. If you do not know who's Ana Caballero, she represents the 12th state district. Ana Caballero, named Dr. Purnell Woman of the Year for being uplifting educator, tireless advocate, and inspirational figure in our community. Thank you, Dr. Purnell, for everything that you do for Selena's community. Now moving on to Rafael.
Thank you, Miguel. Spring break is coming up tomorrow. Get ready to relax and enjoy the nature of the season. Or if you're feeling adventurous, you should go bicycling like me. Now moving on to Eric.
Thank you, Rafael. This month of March is Women's History Month. Today, we are focusing on the women that have served and are currently serving the military. According to AmericasPromise.org, women make up 14.4% of the military. Thank you to all the women in the military for making a difference. I want to now introduce our guest, Maricela Moreno. Welcome to MB News.
Thank you.
Why did you choose to join the military?
Honestly, I kind of just do everything that I think about in the moment. So the actual story is I was walking to Target and there was a recruiting office next door. And I just walked into the recruiting office and there I was.
What was your favorite part?
I think my favorite part is that everybody in the military came from so many different places. So I got to meet people from everywhere that I would have never met if I didn't join, and become pretty close and learn about so many different places.
I heard you fix helicopters. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, I was an aviation electronics technician. So I would fix the electrical components in the helicopter. So if something would like go wrong with like the navigation, the radar, or the communication, we would be the ones that would figure out what it was and fix it.
Who or what inspires you?
I think since I'm the way I am and I kind of do things at the moment, I think like so many different things inspire me, like from like how hard my parents work to even my sister Monica living so far away doing what she wants to do over there. And then at work, like there are some people that like when I first joined were really good at their job, and that's the way like I wanted to be, to get to a point where I'm like as good as they were. And there's so many little things everywhere that inspire me.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Now moving on to Miss Alvarez with the principal's message.
Hello, scholars. I hope all of you are doing well and having a good week. So let's get started with the principal's message. Today, we will be finishing the March Madness. I hope that you enjoyed reading more books this month, and I look forward to seeing the AR points. And as you can see, from the 29th, the week of the 29th, it's no school, so it's spring break. Also, the next time we do MB News, I will be revealing the winner of the book that is the most popular here at Montebella. So are you ready for the riddle of the week? Here we go. What kind of music does the Easter Bunny like? What kind of music does the Easter Bunny like? You ready? Hip hop. Where does the Easter Bunny eat breakfast? Where does the Easter Bunny eat breakfast? At the IHOP, of course. Well, here are some fun facts for March. So March 20th is the March equinox, which is also called the spring equinox in the northern hemisphere. So if you can see, here is the line where the equator is, and see the sun is right here. So that means that the sun is facing the northern part, and that's where spring and summer are going to come. And on this day, the sun stands directly over Earth's equator. So it's right here where the equator is. And then on March 29th through the 31st, it's called Borrowing Days. It's a reputation for being stormy. And the reason that it has a reputation, I'm going to read it. It's the last 3 days of March have a reputation for being stormy. Scottish folklore proposes that these 3 days were borrowed from April so that March might extend his power. The Spanish story about the borrowing days is that a shepherd promised March a lamb if he would temper the winds to suit the shepherd's flocks. But after his request was granted, the shepherd refused to deliver the payment. So in revenge, March borrowed 3 days from April, in which fiercer winds than ever blew to punish the deceiver. And you know what? It was pretty windy today, so I don't know. So this is a Scottish proverb. I'd like to also share with you that we are going to be returning back to school, and I'm so excited, and I know all the teachers and staff are too. Here is the schedule. So this is the TK Kinder schedule, and then the 1st through 6th grade schedule. On Mondays, you will have an hour of synchronous instruction with your teacher, and then in the afternoon, it'll be planning time for them. And then Tuesday through Friday, we'll have school from 8:15 to 11. And if you're 1st through 6th, it'll be 8:15 to 11:15. But if you're in the B group, you would come from 12:05 to 2:50 for the kinder, TK and kinder. And for 1st through 6th, it'll be from 12:05 to 3:05. Now, some of your parents may choose to send you, and some may stay virtual. So it's your parents' choice. Spring break is March 27th through April 5th. And you will come back virtually on April 6th through the 9th, and then we're going to have a staggered start. So on Tuesday, April 13th, TK through kinder comes back. On Wednesday, April 14th, 1st grade. Then Thursday, April 15th, 2nd grade. Friday, April 16th, 3rd and 4th grade. And on Tuesday, April 20th, 5th and 6th. And just remember, be respectful, responsible, and ready every day. And I hope that you have a great spring break, and we will see you back virtually on April 6th. From all of us here at MB News, have a wonderful day. And like we say every single day, go Scholars!
Go Scholars!
Scholars! Go Scholars! Sorry.
We cannot redo that.
How did you feel? How did you feel when you first? How did you feel when you first heard the news that you were? How did you feel when you first heard the news?
Oh, I want to give you a big hug.
Can I go to the restroom?
Are you crying, Mr. Moreno?
Yes, you guys are so sweet. I'm a chillona. I cry easily.